I know that if you're studying American English, focusing on pronunciation, there could be like so many things to be thinking about. You got to think about your vowel sounds, you got to think about your consonant sounds, you got to think about linking, you got to be thinking about your breath, you got to be thinking about your flow, maybe you're thinking about your speed. Well, this is going to be today a little tactic that you can do that is going to immediately help you achieve a more natural sound, and it doesn't take much. One of the things we're going to be taking a look at is a concept called stress. So, English is a stress timed language. That means we have moments where words are going to be emphasized, and we show this by raising the pitch a little bit higher. And this is important because stress words kind of become the focal point, the point of concentration of parts of your sentence. But while stress words are really key, it's what happens right before a stress that really allows us to achieve a more natural sound. So I want to show you some examples of native speakers talking to show you how they're stressing words and what they do before they're stressed words in order to help them sound even more natural when they talk. Good morning, guys. Good evening. Good afternoon. Welcome to your daily American English pronunciation show, which is Wake Up American. We are here usually between hours of 7 and 8 a.m. New York to make sure that you can get in your 5 to 10 minutes of pronunciation practice for the day because that's what it takes if you're serious about this. It takes showing up for yourself in a way that is consistent. I'm here to help you do that. My name is Jeff. It rhymes with breath. That is one of the four keys to a natural sound in American English, including placement, pitch, breath, trying to weaken your consonant sounds in order to strengthen your vowel sounds. Like I've said, like I mentioned earlier, I have some clips for you of native speakers talking. Let's kind of just listen to some of them and discuss what they are doing, starting with this one here.
You know the Pixar rules for storytelling? You know the Pixar rules for storytelling?
Okay, so what did he say right there? Let's just try to understand what was being said.
You know the Pixar rules for storytelling? You know the Pixar rules for storytelling?
The actual words he's saying, he says, you know the Pixar rules for storytelling. And the stress that I'm hearing, hey, what's up to Max hanging with us? Good to see you, man. I'm hearing a stress on Pixar.
You know the Pixar rules for storytelling? You know the Pixar rules for storytelling?
So I'm hearing that stress on Pixar. You can hear the pitch rise. The Pixar. You know the Pixar. But I'm not as worried right now for our class about what's happening on Pixar with the higher pitch. I'm worried on what comes before it. It's the word the. What happens on the word the?
You know the Pixar rules for storytelling? You know the Pixar rules for storytelling?
If you listen carefully, you'll realize he's not saying you know the Pixar. No, he says you know the, you know the, you know the, you know the, you know the Pixar, you know the Pixar. So what we need to do before a stress word, what's up, Emmanuel, is we need to make sure that we go soft, we go weak, we go fast, and we go low in pitch. Because if I don't do that, if I say, you know the Pixar, you know the Pixar, you know the Pixar, there's not a lot of contrast there. But when I'm able to go down right before my stressed word, it makes everything else pop. You know the Pixar, you know the Pixar, you know the Pixar. See if you can catch that again in this
You
clip.
know the Pixar rules for storytelling? You know the Pixar rules for storytelling?
You know the Pixar, you know the Pixar, you know the Pixar. Like da 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 da. So it's that little almost like hiccup right before Pixar that really helps Pixar sound stressed. Let's take a look at another clip. See if you can hear what's
The
happening.
hero doesn't have to win. The hero doesn't have to win.
Okay. The stress I'm hearing is on win at the end. So what's happening right before the word win?
The hero doesn't have to win. The hero doesn't have to win.
We have this phrase have to. Have to very often gets reduced to like have to. Okay. And notice what's happening with that second syllable in have to.
The hero doesn't have to win. The hero doesn't have to win.
You know, he's not saying have to win, because that's not a lot of contrast. So instead, he's taking that the and he's going real low in pitch and it's really fast and really light. Have to win, have to win, have to win. The hero doesn't have to win. The hero doesn't have to win. Notice that little movement
The
there.
hero doesn't have to win. The hero doesn't have to win.
Okay. Let's look at another example of disorder reduction right before a stress
Because of
word.
the way they try. Because of the way they try.
Okay. What's our
Because of
stress?
the way they try. Because of the way they try.
I'm hearing stress on try. What's the word before try?
Because of the way they try. Because of the way they try.
I'm hearing the word before try as they. It's like the way they try. Way they try. It's not way they try. Way they try. Too flat. Way they try. Make sure to drop
Because
in
of the way
pitch.
they try. Because of the way they try.
It's like because of the way they try. Because of the way they try. Because of the way they try.
Because of the way they try. Because
So again, right before our stress, make sure you have enough of that movement down. I have one more clip for you to demonstrate. Let's take a look at this one. You're going to hear it at a normal speed, then you're going to hear it slowed down.
the most important one.
Okay, so I know it's a little bit fast. Play
The
again.
most important one.
Okay, so we have this phrase, the most important one. And this is a situation I see a lot of students struggling with, where you have a multi-syllable word coming before your stressed word. Okay, but it's still going to follow the same principles. So important has many syllables, right? Important, and then we have our stress word one. So that means that it's the same strategies, like import. Then we have and that's the syllable that comes before our stress. So that means that that didn't sound at the end of important. That's the part that is going to need to be lower in pitch, faster, weaker, lighter. Hear the drop and the reduction on the final syllable of important.
The most important one.
Do you hear it like important one, important one? Because a lot of students or people who have learned English, what they're doing is saying most important one, but that's very flat. We're not getting enough of that movement on that final syllable. So we got to drop there, make it weak, make it fast, make it light. Important one, the most important one.
The most important one.
Okay, and the reason I slowed it down is because this sort of movement with the lower pitches and stuff, it's very fast. It seems like it's not very important because that stress word gets a lot of time. What comes before it might get a lot of time. These little reductions that come before the stress word are so fast. However, if you're not doing them, if you're not going down low enough in pitch, if you're not weakening it, it's going to be very hard for you to achieve the more natural sound or the most natural sound that you could in American English. So consider this. All right, guys, those are the main things I have for you today. I do just want to give a quick shout out to Elsa. I think it's a great compliment to what we do in these streams. A lot of times in our streams, we're focusing on more nuanced elements of pronunciation. Like today, we're looking at what happens before stress, right? If you're trying to focus on more of the typical things like vowel sounds, consonant sounds, what's the difference between like sit and seat, lock and luck, things like that. I think Elsa does a great job of not only identifying them in your own speech, but also giving you some practice exercise for them too. And fortunately, it's free. You get access to exercises and things like that. So if I were you, I would take the free pronunciation test that they offer. They're also going to give you some free access to premium for a couple days. I would like do those exercises. I would record myself doing those exercises. And then if my premium membership expires after that, the free one, then I can just play the recordings over and over again. Or maybe I'll like it and I'll keep it. I don't know. But that's kind of how I would handle it. And I think it's a great compliment to whatever you're doing pronunciation wise. Oh, I forgot saying thank you for the exercises for sure. Thanks for hanging out with me. All right, guys, I do need to run, but I appreciate you being here with me. There's a lot of pronunciation exercises out there, a lot of channels. So the fact that you are here is greatly appreciated. I'll see you all later. Hope you have a good day, have a good night, and a good afternoon. Take care.